him for back child support. He's only made one payment in 17 years.
She admitted that she had cheated on me and became pregnant.
That's not how it happened.
Why haven't you paid in 17 years, sir?
I thought I was doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing by not paying.
Real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Brandy Jekyll says within a year of dating the defendant, she became pregnant. But they broke up 5 months into the pregnancy. Brandy claims after their son was born, the defendant came to the hospital with another woman, took a picture of the baby, and left. She's suing her ex today for unpaid child support. Defendant Jeffrey Bach admits that he had some issues when he and Brandy first got together, but claims they reconciled after their son was born. And that's when Brandy cheated and got pregnant by another man. Jeffrey insists he has financially supported his son.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
I met Jeff back in '98. We dated for a while. I became pregnant within the first year of us dating. We were together up until I was about 5 months pregnant, and he just wanted to live a different lifestyle. He was more worried about partying, you know, going out, hanging out with his friends, his family, his one cousin in particular he wanted to hang out with all the time. So we broke up then. I ended up having our son 5 weeks early due to health problems. I tried getting a hold of him so he could be there for the birth of his son, and I couldn't get a hold of him.
Do you live in the same town?
Same, yep. I called him.
Did you know his parents or anyone?
I was calling his mom's phone, and it had a privacy manager block on it, so I couldn't get through. I tried for the first.
You couldn't tell a friend or a family member?
Yeah, I tried.
Give the number?
No, I tried getting a hold of him.
All right. I'm just saying one of his other relatives, perhaps.
No, I didn't have anybody else's number, just his mom's number. That was it. So I tried for the first 2 days. I was in labor 3 days. I died I died when I was having my son. They brought me back. I seizured while I was having him.
What was your complication?
I had toxemia.
Yep.
When I had Isaiah, which is our son, he came up to the hospital with a different female, got a picture, and left the hospital. He came to the house when Isaiah was about 6 days old, spent a couple hours with him, got a couple more pictures with him. Then he disappeared again, didn't see him again for a while. Then the same thing happened when Isaiah was 2. They came to Isaiah's birthday party. We were supposed to try on working on being together, being a family, because I grew up without knowing who my real dad was.
Work on being a family how?
He said that if we moved into a place by ourselves, that we would work on us. So, because when he was...
So instead of working on us first,
right,
and reconciling first, let's move in and then reconcile.
Yeah, because every time we...
go backwards, but...
Yeah, because every time he lived with me, we lived with my mom. And my mom was kind of, I guess, getting fed up with the scene. So the only way to go about it was for me to leave out of the house because she wouldn't let him come back to the house after everything's done happened. So
that was when the child was 2. Then what?
So we moved into this trailer. It was a nasty trailer. He used to take off with my car all the time, leave me and our son home alone while he was out cheating, drinking, doing drugs, whatever he wanted to do.
How long would he be gone?
All night.
Crack?
Coke.
Crack? Am I right or wrong?
You're right. I could tell when he was doing something because he would come home one.
So you know a crackhead when you see him too. You're not the only one to know a crackhead when I see him or hear about him. You might not be. You may just have crackish ways. All right, but I'm just saying that those are definitely crackish ways, sir.
Yeah, he went as far as I took my car from him. I wouldn't let him drive the car no more. So he
walked?
No, he got a car himself, but when he wanted to drive that, he would have other females driving around. And the one time he pulled up in front of the house and I watched him lean in and kiss her goodbye. And I'm watching him out the window, and instead of walking home, he walked over to the neighbor's trailer. Then after she left, he came home.
How long after?
Probably about 20 minutes, give her enough time to get out of there. And then he tried to convince me that I was seeing things. I didn't see him get out of that car.
Try to convince you that you were high too.
Yeah.
Sir, what do you want to tell me? Give me some insight. So
When Brandy and I were together, it was a good relationship. It was. And then, like she said, she got pregnant with Isaiah. He was born June 2nd. I did have a bunch of issues, back then. I've straightened around quite a bit. In 2002, I thought it was. No. Was not crack.
go ahead. She said, and I know it. Go ahead. So, all right. So what was happening then?
So in 2000, I was figuring right around 2002, she admitted that she had cheated on me and became pregnant. So then we split up, and at that time, shortly around that time, she took Isaiah from me for a couple of years.
I never took him. You always knew where we were at.
You moved to the east side of Toledo and changed your phone number.
You knew every address where we were at. Yes, you did.
But anyways, so then after I got back in touch with them when Isaiah was 5, then I was starting to be able to see him again and take him on the weekends and stuff like that.
That's not how it happened, Your Honor.
How did it happen?
I'm the one that contacted his employer because my son was wanting to know who his real dad was. I left my number with them. He called me. I told him that it was time that him and Isaiah get to know each other, that Isaiah wants to know who his real father is because he was calling.
All right, so why do you think he complied suddenly if you don't think he wanted to be a part of the child's life in the past?
Well, because he wanted a relationship between him and I, too.
He hit on you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
More of Judge Mathis in a moment.
So she admitted to having a party. She admitted to driving my car. And she said, and your neighbor, I got a statement from my neighbor as well, your neighbor, we got problems. I said, listen, you're not going to be threatening my neighbor, okay? She ain't had no business telling you what I did. Yes, she do. That's my neighbor. You was wrong.
And coming up.
He's only made one payment in 17 years.
How much total? Because this is for 18 or 17 years.
17 years.
How much?
$63,000. And I have a paper that shows that.
$63,000. I grew up in Detroit, and I'm proud of where I come from. It's a tough city, but there's a lot of love here. And I carry that tough love with me as a judge. And I still keep it real. Hearing real cases with real people from my courtroom in Chicago. I'm Judge Mathis.
When I had Isaiah, which is our son, he came up to the hospital with a different female, got a picture, and left the hospital.
Plaintiff Brandy Jekyll has a 17-year-old son with the defendant, and she claims he has only made one child support payment in 17 years and is currently $63,000 behind in child support.
Okay, sir, let me get back to your testimony. She says that you all caught up with each other because she tracked you down. She says the motive was for you to be back with her romantically.
Wrong, because I wanted something to do with my son.
Got it. So what happened from there?
And then, like I said, we would go out, I'd have him on the weekends, and then once he got older, he wanted to go hang out with his little buddies when he was supposed to come to the house.
Age 12 or 14?
I'd probably say 10 or 12 when he started hanging out with his wanted to go to his buddies' houses.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, and I was
because after 14, your kids, them boys, they don't want to be bothered with you.
That's where he started football at, and I attended a lot of his football.
That's not true either with him staying anywhere because the only place Isaiah's ever...
Did he come to his games, ma'am?
A couple of them, yeah.
All right, let's get to what you're suing about, this child
I'm suing him for back child support. He's only made one payment in 17 years. It was in 2000, May of 2000. He made a payment of $281, and that is it.
How many times did he go to jail for it?
He got arrested twice for it and was supposed to pay $500 to get out of jail, and somehow he slipped out of jail without paying anything.
And the second time?
Same thing.
And you don't know if they put a warrant on him. Okay, because that's what happens. Ladies, if you're watching and ask the prosecutor or child support agency if they would prosecute the deadbeat dad if he's significantly behind and has not paid in a long time, they will. And what will happen, they'll bring him into court, and the judge typically will give some type of alternative to the man or a woman. Well, they'll come in there with a sob story, typically. And it may be true. May it be true. Your Honor, I've tried to get a job. I haven't been able to get a job. It's been 2 years. I've been looking for a job for 2 years. Or, Your Honor, I was in jail or in the hospital. Judge might say, okay, you have 90 days to find a job and begin paying something. Once you find a job, I'll determine how much you're going to pay. But that second time, you don't have a job, whatever it is, fast food, something, some judges might give you one more extension, but then many of them will lock you up for 30, 90 days. Hopefully you'll learn a lesson. They'll even put a bond on that saying, in order to get out, you got to pay at least $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 on the child support, or your family member does. Otherwise, you're going to stand here for another 6 months. So judges take a variety of approaches. But how much total? Because this is for 18 or 17 years.
17 years. 60,
how much?
$63,000. And I have a paper that shows that.
$63,000.
And I have, these are the only pictures I have of him and our son together, are these 3 pictures. And here's a written statement from our son also.
What does he say?
He just pretty much tells you the same thing that I did, that his dad hasn't been there.
How often would you see these son, sir?
Anytime
every
that
month,
my son...
and he lived in the same town every month?
Whether if I called him, he'd come over. If he called me, we'd
how often? Monthly or?
A couple times a month. You know,
is that true?
He's to that age.
Anytime my son would drive to him.
No. I'm asking frequency.
No, like once a month.
I don't know about, pardon?
But once a month if they see each other.
What are you talking about then, man?
That's just now,
That's the best he can do, once a month. You act like the man hadn't been around for 17 years.
He really hasn't.
Once a month may not be enough emotionally, who knows? But you act as if this man hadn't been in the child's life for 17 years. He hadn't paid in 17 years, and that makes you deadbeat. I hope you know that. You're a deadbeat dad, and why haven't you paid in 17 years, sir?
I thought I was doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing by not paying.
When it come to his school clothes. When it come to his school clothes, I know I did wrong by not going through the court system. I understand that.
Okay, so you're saying you paid, but you didn't go through the court.
I would help her.
And she's denying that she ever received anything.
I would help her with school clothes, his school supplies.
You helped with school clothes one time.
Man, be quiet.
And when he was in football, I paid for
Let's average it out, sir. How much would you have paid each month over 17 years? Let's average it out. 100, 200, 300?
Maybe $1,000.
Oh, per what?
No, not per month. Maybe when he was in school, $100 a month, because I've also helped her with cash.
When did you stop, you think, paying that amount on average? Year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Why?
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Okay, sir. So that really makes you a deadbeat. You don't even have an answer of why you haven't provided for your child. Now, if it was $100 a month, who knows? And that's what I warn young men about, and older men, or whatever the age might be, all the time, is you should go through the government for your payment so that you can get credit. Because if you're paying cash every month, that happens quite frequently. The woman gets mad with you, and she says, "I'm taking you and putting you on child support."
I have helped her with cash.
And you have absolutely no evidence that you've done anything in all these years, other than your word. When was the last time you communicated with child support?
2 years ago.
There's more Judge Mathis after this.
But I know another time we was at Family Dollar walking, talking, with shopping, and Ju reaches in her breast, pull out a chicken breast from the night before we was at a restaurant eating. So, like, she's known to have things in her bra. Like, I don't know if she got something
that was
today.
A prank, obviously.
No, that's Ju.
And later.
She's been there for me, through stressful financial issues, because, when you vent to somebody and say, man, I can't believe that this is going on. I got this going on. I got this going on.
That's when the offer comes for the loan.
At one point, yes.
Yeah, that's called dry begging, that's people.
It's been a struggle the last 3 years, trying to keep him alive. My house been shot in, cars been shot up.
Can the judge save her son?
It's up to you if you want to do your part. What do you want to do?
Next Judge Mathis.
Are you furious with a friend or family member who owes you money or has wronged you? If you're currently suing or thinking about filing a lawsuit, call 1-888-VERDICT or visit us online at judgemathisTV.com.
He's only made one payment in 17 years. It was in 2000, May of 2000. He made a payment of $281.
Plaintiff Brandy Jekyll has a 17-year-old son with the defendant. and she claims he has only made one child support payment in 17 years and is currently $63,000 behind in child support.
When they told you you owed over $60,000, what did you say?
They didn't give me an option to answer. They just told me this is what we want within 90 days.
No, they do give you an option to answer. You can contest it to a child support agency staff member. It might take you 2 months to talk to somebody, or you may have to sit there for 2 days straight in the lobby. But nonetheless, somebody, ultimately, you'll be able to say, I have paid something. So I don't believe that. So I'll grant her judgment. The maximum we can give is $5,000. All right, good luck to you. He claims he's been involved in the son's life. You claim he hasn't. I don't know who is telling the truth. Good luck.
Thank you. I just want him to take care of our son, you know, be in his life more, not make my son make all the effort to him.
He don't make all that.
He does great with his daughter that he has with somebody else. And I mean, my son wrote a statement telling that he does all the driving to him, goes to see him. He's 17, he needs his dad. Besides, I'm not going to sit here, you know, he has changed his life around a lot, and I give him credit for that.
Not by what you said.
But I just want him to be in my son's life. That's it. He's grown up to be a man.
I wanted to be a part of his life for a long time. But then when you can't get a hold of nobody and they change their phone number, there's nothing you can do.
Plaintiff Sharnella McRae says the defendant is her cousin, and she's either the life of the party or she's cursing someone out. Sharnella claims the defendant also has a habit of storing stuff in her bra. And once, when they were in a store, she pulled a chicken breast out of her bra. Sharnella is suing her cousin for rent and car repairs. Defendant Julia Leak says growing up, she was like a mentor to Sharnella, and they used to have fun together. But over the years, Sharnella became a Bible toter, and now she doesn't know how to have fun. Julia's countersuing for an illegal eviction.
Start with you.
Well, this is my cousin Julia. We call her Juju. Juju is either the life of the party or she's either cussing someone out. I remember a time, sometimes Juju might walk up behind a guy purposely and might bump them with her breast, being funny.
And they'd fall to the ground. No, I'm just asking what would happen.
No, she'd be like, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't see you standing right there. Knowing she's seen the guy, she'll walk up and do that.
What would happen to him, no? Typically.
He'll just turn around and be like, oh, huh? But it's just her being funny. That's something that Jews do.
I just want to know the result.
Yeah, no, she don't knock him down to the ground. I haven't seen that happen. But I know another time we was at Family Dollar walking, talking, we're shopping, and Ju reaches in her breast, pull out a chicken breast from the night before we was at a restaurant eating. So, like, she's known to have things in her bra. Like, I don't know if she got something
that was a prank, obviously.
No, that's Ju.
I didn't have my purse.
So you would have put it in your purse?
Stack them deep, sell them cheap.
Fried chicken?
It was the takeout. It was a takeout. It was a takeout.
Why did you get the takeout box?
It was a buffet.
So,
I'm with you now. I'm with you now. Go ahead.
If she's not doing that, Ju's cussing you out, and she can put a good cussing on you. Case in point, we was at a family gathering, my cousin's birthday party for a little kid. So, you know, the kid's supposed to eat first. Ju felt like she needed to eat before the other kids, so she go in there and try to get something to eat. Somebody stopped like, hey, let the kids eat first. You don't tell me what to do. Took a hot dog, threw it at the guy, walked around, grabbed another hot dog, walked out. She ain't cuss you out.
Let me get some background from you now.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nell, okay, or Sharnella, I was always like a mentor to her. She's quite a few years younger than me, okay? So growing up, you know, she was with her shenanigans. You know, she tried to take after big cuz. You can't be like me. So
there's only one you.
There's only one. No matter how many times you say Juju, it's only one. Now, Nell, when she was in high school, I thought she was in a band. We was really happy for her, right?
The band?
In the band, right? And I was a hairstylist. So she's like, cuz, can you do my hair for me? I got payment. So I said, what you got now? She brings me this big box with handles. It's a bunch of chocolate. $200 worth of fundraiser chocolate. Now, I knew she wasn't going to sell no candy, so I took it off her hands. I let that be her payment or whatever. Until the next day, when the band director called me to tell me I was responsible for this $200 worth of chocolate that I never signed up for. So the same way Nell is all pretty and smiling and little now, I approached her. She kind of laughed it off. But now, man, mind you, this was the Nell I know. So over the years, you know, she was the head bopper. She's quick to fight. She talk about cursing out. She cusses everybody out, and she ain't but this big, really. And she will curse them out. Man, woman, break up your property and everything. I think because Big Cuz is in the scene, she thinks she can get away with stuff, right? So over the years, Nell becomes Charnella, the Bible toter Nell. Now, ain't nothing wrong. Your Honor, there's nothing wrong with the Bible. I love the Lord. But I'm telling you, she don't have fun anymore. Nothing she wants to do when we have a little wine. No, Jew. I'm like, Jesus drank wine? Come on, you know. That's what I'm saying. But she's so judgmental. So when I moved out, you know, I came back down to North Carolina thinking I still had my little cousin Nell. But this other Nell, I don't know who this is. I don't know who Charnella was.
Bible thumper.
The Bible thumper. When you're trying to talk to her, she dropping verses like she getting ready to do a rap style. Bible verses. You understand? So I'm adjusting. I'm dealing with that.
She ever been on drugs?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.
Coming up next on Judge Mathis.
Those things are excluded from joint property. So that settlement was not yours, too. That was his settlement.
That might be the law, but my law was
Yeah. She telling the truth there. She runs everything.
Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Judge Greg Mathis.
So over the years, Nell becomes Charnella, the Bible toter Nell. Now, ain't nothing wrong. Your Honor, there's nothing wrong with the Bible. I love the Lord. But I'm telling you, she don't have fun anymore.
Plaintiff Charnella McRae is suing her cousin, who claims now that Charnella is a Bible toter, she doesn't know how to have fun anymore.
Please tell me when you call the house, you don't pick up. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord, Charnella speaking.
But before you can hang up, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, when you're saying talk to you later now, it's like, talk to you later, praise the God. See, it's a whole line.
That's all right at the end, but if they said in the beginning,
I don't have any much sense.
that means they're recovering from them drugs. That strengthens them from relapse.
Now, I must say, I've never known Nell to do any drugs.
All right.
Still, judges
That's why she only says it at the end.
There you go.
Tell me why you're suing.
August 2016, my cousin Juju called me. It was like, hey, cuz, I want to relocate back to where I stay at. And she was like, do I mind her staying with me for a week? I'm like, no problem. I love you. So August 20th, Ju shows up at my house. Her husband, her 21-year-old son, and her little ankle-biting dog. I'm like, hold on, you call and ask, could you come? You didn't say all these other people. I said, okay, you know what? Y'all here, y'all ain't got nowhere else to go, so we come on in. No problem, because I loved you. We never had an issue.
You're good. Mm-hmm.
So that weekend, I traveled out of town to go to work. I come back that Monday, trying to start my car don't start. I seen my neighbor's like, hey, I seen your cousin Juju getting your car towed back home. And she was like, and also she had a party that Saturday. She was like, she would knock at the door, a party. She knocked at the door because she heard the loud noise or whatever, and she was like, she was trying to tell Ju to keep it out. She said, Ju cussed her out. All that. I said, what? So I called Ju. Ju, what's going on? My neighbor said they seen you towing my car. Yeah, I had your car. Your Honor, I did not give her authorization to drive my car. On top of that, I did not give her authorization to have a party in my house while I was gone. So she admitted to having a party. She admitted to driving my car. And she said, and your neighbor, I got a statement from my neighbors where, your neighbor, we got problems. I said, listen, you're not going to be threatening my neighbor, okay? She ain't had no business telling you what I did. Yes, she do. That's my neighbor. You was wrong. Past that, so we talk or whatever. I told Ju, I said, she was like, listen, I get your car fixed. Because she had a settlement coming in. Between her and her boyfriend, somebody got some money coming in. That's what they was going. Husband, let me correct it.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, so I talked to her, she agreed, said she was going, pay for my car, because the settlement was coming in. Okay, 2 weeks go by, Ju still here. So I said, Ju, what you doing? What's your plan? She was like, look, cuz the money ain't came in yet, but it's coming. She was like, look, how about this? I'll give you $450 for rent for the time that we done been here and any other time. Okay, time done gone by, y'all. It's 3 months. Ju, her husband, her son, and an ankle-biting dog that shed everywhere got me sneezing up something still in my house. Ain't gave me no money. They know I like to gamble. They go to casino just about every day. They go out to eat every day. Don't buy me nothing to eat. I say, hey, cuz, you want a burger?
Don't bring you any of the winnings.
Nothing. Right? oh, it's time for y'all to go. So I said on November 4th, I said, cuz, tomorrow I need you up out my house. Let me tell you this, if you act up, I'm gonna call the police. Just know that. She said, all right. So November 5th came, they said, you know, she was talking, running them out, but I was in my room. I had 911 on speed dial, picking out that. I said, cause if she run towards me, I'm gonna call the police and they gonna hear this, cause she, really, I can't beat you. You're gonna beat me up. But I said, you got to go. I was preparing myself.
I wish I could be at those family dinners y'all have, if everybody like y'all. Yep. And I love the way you present your case. Very colorful. And you are...
Revving up.
Revving up. You can't go get any more colorful than you have already. Tell me about the party, her car, and why you shouldn't pay for this, and the rent.
Okay, Jan, first of all, it wasn't really a party, okay? It was just a couple of people who was glad I was back in North Carolina, and her neighbor I offered her a drink. She got a little salty. She should have did that. That's all. Now, as far as, let me back it up, okay? Because that's a bold face. I asked Nell prior to coming. You know I'm a package. My husband, my son, and my dog, her name is Princess.
No.
To come to her home. We did agree for the $450 because I do have this settlement. My husband does, but what's his is mine, okay? And so he agreed as well, and we were going to be at our home. I didn't have a deadline of when the settlement was coming. I said until. Okay?
And by the way, folks, don't tell people the wrong law now. Settlements and monies brought into the marriage prior to the marriage, monies left for you by someone, a family member or otherwise, those things are excluded from joint property. So that settlement was not yours too. That was his settlement.
That might be the law, but my law was
She telling the truth there. She runs everything.
All right.
She runs everything.
We'll be right back. And later on Judge Mathis.
After all these years of friendship, you hear that she's talking about you, and you don't say, hey, best friend. What's the problem here?
This last time I did, I sent her a text.
First time?
Why? First time I did.
Now, we're talking after you got sued. I know you did.
It's been a struggle the last 3 years, trying to keep him alive. My house been shot in, car's been shot up.
Can the judge save her son?
It's up to you if you want to do your part. What do you want to do?
Next, Judge Mathis.
If you're in Chicago and would like to attend a taping of the Judge Mathis Show, call us at 1-866-3-MATHIS. Plaintiff Sharnella McRae is suing her cousin, who claims now that Sharnella is a Bible toter, she doesn't know how to have fun anymore.
Well, Your Honor, as I stated, I agreed on the $450. I knew she would get that. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, little cousin looks up to me. She never tells me no. So when I had the house keys, on the house keys was that nice, accurate key, I needed to run to the spot, the casino. She never said I couldn't use the car, so I drove to the casino. When I left the casino wee hours that morning, went to crank that sucker up. It would not crank, wouldn't do nothing. It's an Acura. So I did the right thing, and I called the tow truck, and I had them bring it to the house. What her little magic neighbor keeps saying, popping up outside, was me talking to the tow truck driver. Now, I did tell Nell when she came home, you know what? I'll take care of it. You know the settlement's coming, I'll take care of it. Well, time goes on. Nell's frustrated. She's renting cars and doing all this. Then she comes and she tells me about this car, this bill. And I said, ma'am, I'm not paying that. I didn't wreck your car, okay? That's a whole new car payment. I ain't do that. You might need just oil change. So no, I'm not gonna pay it. And then she's being nasty about it. You can't get nothing out of me being nasty.
You owe her. What do you mean get anything out of you?
But I volunteered. Let me tell you why I don't owe her.
You agreed to pay her rent. Let's start there. Why don't you owe her for rent?
She didn't give me enough time, okay? I told her
She gave the 3 months. Didn't you stay there 3 months?
It could have been 4 months. I don't know. I got to see what's going on.
Okay, so why don't you owe for the time you stayed there?
I think I should pay her when I'm finished staying there. And then I know how much I owe. Are you still there? Nope.
Well, you're finished. I got news for you.
True.
What about the car repairs? You're suggesting something was already wrong with it?
Absolutely. That kind of damage.
But could have been she knew something was wrong and she never intended to drive it. That's why she left it there. Just because she didn't tell you not to drive, you weren't supposed to drive her car. No one's supposed to drive someone's car without permission. So it could have very well been that she knew it wouldn't make it up the street. And that's why you shouldn't have driven it, because going up the street might cause it to be damaged or might cause it to be out of service as it was. Illegal eviction, how does she owe you for that?
Because she didn't give me 30 days or 2 weeks. She told me I got to be out that next day.
Okay.
And I couldn't leave that next day.
All right.
I stayed the extra day.
Ma'am, what do you say to that? She's absolutely right.
Well, Your Honor, Julie is suing me for hotel. She paid $150 in hotel. She asked to stay with me for a week. She told me her.
And she's gonna pay you rent for that. Tell me about this.
It came with her.
Got all that. We heard all that. We heard all that. Now come on with the eviction.
So,
did you give her notice?
I told her that because she only asked
all right,
to stay
that's
for a
an
week.
illegal eviction. Let me see your repairs that you're asking for. And she's admitted to the rent. Many people don't understand the law. When the person has agreed to pay you rent, they are your tenant. And your tenant, you must get a court order to put a tenant out or to evict a tenant. Therefore, it was an illegal eviction. $480 is her judgment. However, I'm going to grant her the rent for the time that you lived there and the car repairs, which I am concluding you are responsible for. Judgment for the plaintiff, $29.87, and the counterclaim is also granted. Have a good day, ladies.
I shouldn't have to pay for you for this hotel time. You know that. But it's okay, though. It's okay. I still love you, cuz.
Plaintiff Yonori Vargas says she's known the defendant since childhood, and they were such close friends that people often thought they were a couple. Yonori claims their friendship went downhill after she had a bad breakup and the defendant failed to support her emotionally. And Yonori's suing her today for a loan and filing fee. Defendant Maria Flores insists she was there for Yonori after her breakup. And anytime she called and needed help, Maria made herself available. Maria insists the only reason Yonori is suing her today is because she cut off their friendship.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I've known Maria since childhood. We've always had a sister friendship. We were really close. We went out all the time. We partied. Families hung out. And everywhere that I took her, people thought that we were a couple. And I was okay with that because I love her. We grew up together. But due to her selfishness and me constantly being there for her and her not being there for me, that is why we're here today.
Give me some examples of how you were there for her and she wasn't.
Well, Your Honor, I went through a bad breakup. Mm-hmm. And
how long ago?
This was a year ago.
I'm sure there's something else before that. You say you've been friends all your life.
Well, every time we went out, it was like on my expense.
Don't go away. More of Judge Mathis is coming. Plaintiff Yonori Vargas says she and the defendant used to be good friends. And Yonori claims they were so close that people often thought they were a couple.
So not being there for you means not helping to pay the bill at the bar.
No, not quite. Emotionally, when you need somebody.
That's what I'm asking you. What has she done? Because she's going to deny it, I promise you.
Well, I mean, you
Watch this. Have you failed to be there for her when she's needed you emotionally?
No.
See? So, anything else other than this past year?
Well, we weren't like in each other's lives from childhood up until then. It was like times where we were not.
How many years?
I think we probably reunited on and off. When I was 17, we reunited again. And then later on in life, about 5 years ago. No, 7 years ago.
Okay. Seems to me you could have told me something other than the 1 year. So you had a big breakup and she wasn't there for you.
Right.
All right. What do you want to tell me?
Yes, she did have a breakup. I was there for her. She can't say I wasn't because there was times that she would call me and I would fly to her house when she needed me to
fly
go. From my house to go to her.
In a car?
In my car.
Okay,
yeah,
not fly out of town. All right, I'm just trying to understand, because that's real support. Yeah. You fly out of town, it doesn't get any more supportive. Go ahead.
And I did go to her home to resolve some issues that was going on at that time.
What do you mean resolve them? How could you resolve them?
You know, be the peacemaker, because, you know, she was crying.
Give me an example. Peacemaking.
You know, she had an argument with her boyfriend.
And you
at
go over there, and what did you do?
Talk to him and say, you know what, why are you acting the way you're acting? You know, she loves you.
Okay.
You know, this relationship should be, 50-50. I mean, we sat there and we talked for a while, and that was not the only time that me and him did talk.
How has she been there for you?
She's been there, supportively, because I do have, I went through a breakup myself. She's been there for me, through stressful financial issues.
Okay.
Because, when you vent to somebody and say, man, I can't believe that this is going on. I got this going on. I got this going on.
And then what happens?
I can't find a job. So she helped me out in that way.
So offer?
She did offer me.
I know, when you vent like that, that's when the offer comes for the loan.
At one point, yes.
Yeah, that's called dry begging, as people know.
No.
You don't just straight out ask for the money, which is what you're really doing. Is,
What's wrong?
heck of a financial jam.
What happened?
You don't want to know, it's my problem.
I flew over here.
No,
Not like that.
No. I just want to vent. That's all. I just want to vent.
Right.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, you're okay. Thanks. I'm glad you're here for me.
Yeah, anything.
Keep it going. Anything?
Yeah, anything. You name it.
No, it's just 2,000, and I just don't know how to get it. Where I'm gonna get it from?
I just got my income tax check.
I don't know. I don't want to take your income tax.
Here's $2,000. We're friends.
Okay, thank you. So is that what happened, or nearly? Tell me why you're suing her for $2,000, $2,270.
In February of 2015, her wife was coming in from London to stay for a month, and she ran out of funds at the hotel that she was staying at. So, the good friend that I am, I lent her the $2,227.
She asked you for?
I think it was more like
what me and
right.
rolling out shit.
Right. Right. I wanted to help her, We were like sisters.
And when was she to repay?
So she was supposed to make a payment when she got her first paycheck the next month because she just started a job. And then she lost her job shortly after that. So then I told her that she can pay me when she got a job.
Okay, and what was the agreement on the amount?
It was $40 a month.
That's pretty good, friend. And $40 a month beginning when?
March of
16?
Yes.
She couldn't give you $40 a month for a year?
No, she couldn't.
But she got a wife flying back and forth from London, living the life. I can't give you $40.
Judge Mathis will be right back. And on the next Judge Mathis.
It's been a struggle the last 3 years trying to keep him alive. My house been shot in, cars been shot up.
Can the judge save her son?
It's up to you if you want to do your part. What do you want to do?
Next Judge Mathis.
Plaintiff Yanori Vargas says she and the defendant used to be good friends. And Yanori claims they were so close that people often thought they were a couple.
Ma'am?
Well, it was not my expense, it was her expense.
She can give you $40. Then you say, baby, throw 40 on that.
But I wasn't working. And when she did address that she needed me to pay, I was fine. We came with the agreement. And the agreement was that when I got a job, that I would pay her.
You were unemployed?
I was unemployed, yes, Your Honor.
For a year?
I worked as a student worker, but we only had, 5 hours per pay period. So I wasn't making much to pay her, or even, it was just gas money.
Is that
back
true?
and forth to school.
You only worked 5 hours a week?
Yes.
Okay. So that's why you waited a year, and that's, once again, a friend. And since March, what has happened? Have you kept your payment?
Yes, I have copies of the...
So why do you think she's suing you?
I believe maybe because the friendship was... I ended the friendship because I found out that she was talking about me. She sent a text. She sent the text to me that was meant for somebody else.
Okay.
This is not the first time this happened, where I found out that she did say things about me. I was a little hurt by it, so I just wanted to pull away and just...
Okay.
So but I did
she was saying things about you. So to throw a little more venom on it, she said, I'm going to sue her. Why do you think she did all that?
Probably because she thought I wasn't going to pay her.
Did you ask her why she was talking about you behind your back?
I have a text messages.
No, I say, did you ask her?
No, I didn't.
After all these years of friendship, you hear that she's talking about you, and you don't say, hey, best friend. What's the problem here?
This last time I did, I sent her a text.
First time?
Why? First time I did.
Now, we're talking after you got sued. I know you did.
No.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Your Honor, she made a payment in March.
Let's start talking behind her back.
I said a few things, yes.
Why?
Because I was not happy with our friendship. I felt like she was taking advantage of me.
How?
I was always there for her, Your Honor.
Taking advantage of you on this
Like
matter?
when she was sick in the hospital, I went to go visit her when nobody else did.
That's since the 2000?
Yes. So,
all right.
So the reason I'm suing her...
No, I know that.
Okay.
But we're trying to clarify. You all done sound like you talked about the end of your friendship.
No, we didn't.
That's what I'm trying to talk about it now for you.
Right, we didn't. I accidentally sent a text message to someone else speaking about her.
Yeah, about what? What are you talking behind her back about? What are you talking behind her back for? You weren't coming here with best of friends. I've been there for her.
Right.
You've been there to talk behind her back. I'm just giving you a chance to clean it up, but doesn't sound like you want to. So let's just get right to the loan. She says she has paid you regular payments. What do you say to that?
She paid March, April, May. She didn't pay June, so July 1st, I filed.
Okay, ma'am, what do you say to that? You did pay June?
I did pay June. I have received.
On time?
No, we never settled on a
specific date. If you didn't pay on time, you breached your contract, ma'am.
We never settled on a specific date.
And when did you pay June's one more time?
The 1st of July.
And the agreement was what?
Every month. But I wasn't working. I didn't work that month.
Okay, I got the excuse, but she didn't go for the excuse. So, judgment for the plaintiff, $2,270. Good luck to you, ladies. Have a good day.
Met Allison. She moved in. As the months went on, she was walking around and stumbling and drunk. We came home and there was smoke all in the house and flames on our stove.
Were you sober for the most part?
Yes, Your Honor.
What about the fire?
Real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Stacy McEwen says the first time she took the defendant into her home, they became good friends. Stacy claims when she allowed the defendant to live with her a second time, she realized the defendant was an alcoholic, and she started 2 fires in Stacy's home while drunk. Stacy's suing her former roommate for attorney fees. Defendant Allison Ruiz admits that she's a recovering alcoholic who is currently sober and has been in rehab for over 90 days. Allison claims when she moved in with Stacy for a second time, everything had changed, and Stacy had become extremely self-centered. Allison's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. May now be seated.
Start with you.
In September of 2012, I answered a Craigslist ad for a woman looking for a safe place to live in return for light housework. At that time, I met Allison. I was a single mother. It worked out great. She moved in. We had a great relationship. She became family. And then in May of 13, we parted ways. She went to move down with her son, and I then bought a house with my now husband in a different area. So we parted ways at that time and kept in contact.
Craigslist?
That's a good question, because it looks like it's working. All right. Go ahead.
And about the beginning of 2015, we had kept in good contact, and she was having some problems at her son's house, and we had extra room. She was always welcome back. She was family, always welcome to come back. We told her she could move back. While her son was at work, my husband went down and helped her move out and move back up with us. And at that time, we had the same relationship, but...
And the same arrangement?
Same arrangement, except
Do a little light housework in exchange for rent?
room and board. We bought everything. We paid for everything. This time, though, she was not the same person she was before. As the months went on, she was sleeping a lot, watching TV all the time, slurring a lot. Our alcohol was missing all the time, starting to drink us out of house and home. My husband would come home from his 2 days at work and no beer would be in the fridge.
Hey, he looked like he might take a shot or two.
Hey, don't mess with this beer.
And is that the only thing you suspected was alcohol?
We knew she was on medications, and so I believe probably a mixture. But one night we came home and there was smoke all in the house and flames on our stove, and she was standing there trying to blow it out. And she was walking around and stumbling and drunk and fell over into the dog food, and it went all over. And my son and daughter, they witnessed this, and they had to help get her up into her bedroom. And
what about the fire?
Well,
they were successful dousing it.
It was on the stove only.
No significant damage. Okay, good.
And then that was one of two incidences. And so the last one was the night she had left. We parted ways. We came home again, smoke in the house. She had been cooking a pizza on the cardboard for a long time. The cardboard had shriveled. And we accused her of drinking and not being sober, and she had stated she wasn't drinking. And we found a couple of empty bottles in the trash can. It was trash day, and that was all that was in there. Okay. And then she continued to say that we drove her to drink. It was a bad environment. She was leaving. We said, that's fine, because we were at the point we were.
Let me allow her to give some background now.
Yes, Your Honor. The drinking is true. I can't deny that. I've been in rehab for 99 days.
99?
An outpatient for 120.
Good.
Yes.
You go to your AA, obviously?
Yes, I do. I have a sponsor. I'm working in steps. I do. However, Stacy, I didn't ask really to move back into Stacy. She was calling me nearly every day, telling me that how much she missed me, how much she needed me. She wanted me to come back.
So you really didn't want
her to move
back?
Quiet,
ma'am. She didn't interrupt you. She didn't say one word. So you really didn't want to go?
I did, but I didn't. I knew I was going to really miss my
What made you go from didn't to did?
Stacy had told me I'd have a better life. She told me my money would be my money. She told me my time would be my time. She told me I could come and go as I please.
But at some point you didn't want to do it, and that's why I'm wondering what made you go from didn't to did. You say you didn't, but you did.
I was
did,
really,
but you didn't want to.
I believe I was easily influenced, and I went against my better judge of character.
Why didn't you want to do it at one point?
Why didn't I?
That's correct.
I'm sorry, I'm hard of hearing.
Okay. At one point, you didn't want to do it.
No, I did not. Because I was going to miss my grandson.
And so, at some point, you said, well, see you later, grandson.
I did, Your Honor.
All right. And that was why?
Because I was easily influenced by Stacy.
Okay. She was able to influence you.
Yes.
To ditch your grandson, who you wanted to remain with, to come with her. You put her over your grandson?
No.
She's a con artist, not just an influence. If she can con you out of your grandson, she's good. Because that's what you told me. You didn't want to come because you wanted to stay with your grandson. Well, why did you leave? Because she influenced me to leave my grandson to live with her.
More of Judge Mathis in a moment.
Yes.
For what?
For it's either for...
Stop sticking your neck out like that when you talk to me. I'm not him. I'm not all these other people you deal with. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now tell me how many times you've been to jail.
And coming up.
Were you sober for the most part?
Yes, Your Honor.
How about those times you burned down the house? Or the kitchen or the stove?
No, but it was a combination of the medication my doctor had me on also.
I grew up in Detroit, and I'm proud of where I come from. It's a tough city, but there's a lot of love here. And I carry that tough love with me as a judge. And I still keep it real, hearing real cases with real people from my courtroom in Chicago. I'm Judge Mathis. Is that the only thing you suspected was alcohol?
We knew she was on medications, and so I believe probably a mixture. But one night we came home and there was smoke all in the house and flames on our stove, and she was standing there trying to blow it out.
Plaintiff Stacy McEwen allowed the defendant to live with her, and she claims the defendant is an alcoholic who started 2 fires in her home while drunk.
Okay, so go right ahead. She influenced you to leave your grandson and come live with her, and how'd that go?
Actually, the first few weeks went really well, but thereafter I realized everything had changed.
Like what?
Stacy became, or was, a much more self-centered person than I knew.
How so?
It was all about her. Everything was about Stacy.
Give me some examples.
Okay. I helped her daughter pack for science camp one night, and Stacy had spent 3 hours on the computer looking for motorcycle leathers for her and her husband that she just purchased a motorcycle for. And when Stacy finally got off the computer and wanted to check her daughter's science camp bag, she said this was wrong and that was wrong and this is wrong. And I felt like I shouldn't have been packing that science bag for her daughter to begin with.
Oh, okay. You didn't help out around the house in exchange for rent?
Oh, yes, I did.
Helping to pack the science bag, you don't consider that helping around the house?
No, but now I was taking care of 5 people and not just 2.
That's what I'm saying. So helping the daughter with the science bag, that was out of the range of exchange for rent.
Correct.
Okay, good enough. How else was she self-centered?
Well, she was not home a lot at all. She was
Where was she?
I'm sorry?
Where was she?
Parties, balls, weekend getaways. I took care of the daughter a lot. Got her to school. Some mornings I made lunch for her, picked her up, got her to band. Her best friend would come spend a lot of time with her, so I was now taking care of both of them.
Were you sober for the most part?
Yes, Your Honor.
How about those times you burned down the house? Or the kitchen or the stove?
No, but it was a combination of the medication my doctor had me on also.
Something that you shouldn't have mixed alcohol with?
Yes, painkillers.
But while sober, you knew you shouldn't mix alcohol with, and you did it anyway?
I had sleeping pills that I took at night.
And drank as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You don't think that's self-centered? Knowing that you had a job to perform, particularly overseeing a child? What is more self-centered than that? What else did they do to you?
Well, I was being yelled at often. Stacy was becoming extremely frustrated with me.
Why?
I couldn't hear, and that really bothered her.
Okay.
I now have hearing aids, but I had loss of hearing back then, and that really bothered her that I was unable to hear her, and I had to keep asking her what, why, what.
What else did they do to you? Because you're suing them for emotional distress. So I want to address that too before we get to the attorney fees she's suing you about. What else did they do to you?
The biggest thing is I feel like I have given up the most important relationship of my life.
And they did that to you?
I lost the relationship of my grandbaby because my son wouldn't allow me to see the grandbaby after I moved in with Stacy because he was really upset that the baby had gotten so close and attached.
Did you ever think that perhaps you should move out of the place you were staying for free since they were treating you so badly? Did that ever occur to you? And no doubt you were missing your grandson. Did that ever dawn on you?
I had no idea that leaving my grandson and moving in with Stacy was a much worse choice.
I know, but anytime you're staying somewhere for free and the people began to do something to you that's so bad that you want $3,000 for it, just move. Let me hear from you, ma'am, on the attorney fees.
Yes, in May of 15, Allison had wrecked her car, got her 3rd DUI. And
third DUI?
Correct.
Who are you blaming for that? So, You've been caught risking the lives of others 3 times.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
She needed to borrow $6,300 for the attorney's fees and have me co-sign on her bail. So that is why
I thought it was $5,000. It was a total of $63,000.
She's up to $7,100 now.
So $5,000. So tell me about the loan. $6,300.
Sure. I agreed to the $6,300 attorney fee as well as co-signing on the bail because she did have a judgment against her son that she was living with for $6,400, and she was going to garnish the wages. So
she had a judgment against
her son that she was living with, that she ruined the relationship with.
She sued him?
She sued him and got a judgment. So she was garnishing the wages and going to assign those to me.
Sorry?
What did your son do?
I loaned him almost $20,000.
Okay. And
so that is how I was going to be repaid, was the garnishment was supposed to come to me to repay me the $63,000 for the attorney's fees, and then she was going to pay the bail that I co-signed on.
Ma'am?
I paid the bail. I believe you made one $40 payment.
$165. Okay, yes.
No, I talked to
Let's deal with the rest.
Okay. I believe she paid for $40. That's what they had informed me of. And I don't believe I was ever living there for free because it did cost me a lot of my time.
Okay.
And what was the other question? I apologize.
The money. The money she's suing you about.
And that was true. I was planning on garnishing my son's wages after I had gotten a judgment. However, I have decided not to garnish my son's wages because at that point, if I had done that, it would have severed the relationship with him forever. And that would mean it would sever the relationship with my grandbaby.
It's currently severed?
I'm sorry?
Is it currently severed?
No.
Everything is fine with you and your son?
It is now, yeah.
Judge Mathis rules on this dispute shortly.
Tell me how many times you've been to jail.
Maybe 4 or 5 times.
For what?
Yeah. Probably for either assault or...
Assault?
Yeah, most like on my assault or traffic ticket.
Everything dealing with temperament.
Judge
sounds
Mathis,
like.
She took a vehicle and tried to run over one of her baby daddy's girlfriends.
Never.
And I had to bail her out on this case, and this case is in court right now.
And later,
Your Honor, she runs the show. If you don't, she's the boss. She's the boss. She's the boss. That woman will fight you like a man, I'm telling you.
I bossed you for 3 years and got your butt to work, didn't I?
She will fight you like a man, I'm telling you.
This is true.
I went through verbal abuse. I went through physical abuse. He's a beater.
That was all a lie.
Did you go to the police on him?
That's Judge Mathis.
TV.com.
So the last one was the night she had left. We parted ways. We came home again, smoke in the house. She had been cooking a pizza on the cardboard for a long time. The cardboard had shriveled.
Plaintiff Stacy McEwen allowed the defendant to live with her, and she claims the defendant is an alcoholic who started 2 fires in her home while drunk.
Why are you crying?
The thought of severing the relationship with my
that's your only defense is that you don't want to pay her $5,000 because it will hurt your son. Is that your only defense?
Yes, I'm not willing to.
Okay, otherwise you do owe her?
Because it would sever the relationship.
I understand that. Otherwise you do agree you owe her?
Not all of it, no. I really don't.
Why don't you owe her all of it?
Because I really, really believe there is emotional distress involved in this.
Okay, but aside from your emotional distress, did you borrow this money and fail to pay her?
Correct.
Okay, so you do owe her. And I don't believe the emotional distress is due to you because I don't believe they did all of that to you. And if they were torturing you, you could have left. And you hurting the relationship between you and your son is not a defense to paying her money. That's between you and your son. Judgment for the plaintiff, and your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
She's family. She always has been. I'm sorry we got to this point. The judge was right. I loaned her the money and I needed to be repaid.
I don't have anything to say right now.
Plaintiff Jasmine Porter says she's known the defendant for 14 years because her mom dates his brother. Jasmine claims after she bought a car from the defendant, he hit on her, but she rejected his advances. And she's now suing him because he repossessed the vehicle. Defendant Elbert Traylor insists he never hit on Jasmine, and she's nothing but a troublemaker who's been in jail several times for fighting. Elbert admits that he repossessed Jasmine's car, but that's because she failed to pay it off, so he doesn't owe her for anything.
Start with you.
Yes, sir. Albert Traylor, y'all probably know him as Elsie. He's wanted to have a sexual relationship with me. I turned him down.
Where do you know him from?
Your Honor?
Where do you know him from?
I know him. My mom dates his brother. And he's his
How long have you known him?
For almost 13, 14 years. My mom been dating his brother.
And what has your association been like? Would you see him often over the 13 years passing by, or?
Yeah, when he comes by, it's mainly when he comes to harass his brother about a car payment.
All right.
His car payment he gets from him.
Got it. All right, go right ahead. Continue. You say he hit on you? You started out talking about
yes,
that.
but he wanted sexual relationships from me. I turned him down.
When?
Your Honor, that's not
it was
true.
in maybe in the middle.
I'll let you defend it.
Maybe like off in the middle of November.
And this is the first time he had hit on you?
Yes.
All right. Why do you think he waited 13 years?
I known of him for 13 years. I just stayed with my mom now for almost 4 years.
Okay, so all 4 of those years, what age were you?
I was maybe 20, 21.
20 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
He would come by every week?
Yeah, or his brother would meet out to him.
Pardon?
Or his brother would meet him, or some cases.
No, I'm talking about you seeing him in the household.
In the household.
Wherever you saw him for 4 years, you say he came by every week. You obviously knew he was there because you telling me now.
Okay, maybe.
So, where would you be? Would you see him when he came there? Anywhere? Would you see him on the street?
No.
On the porch?
Maybe, most likely the time it would be in the house. He'd come by the house.
Okay, so almost every week for 4 years, he'd come by the house.
Yes, sir.
So why do you think it took him 4 years after seeing you every week to hit on you? He never showed any signs of that before?
No.
All right, so tell me about November. How did he do it in November? How did it just happen?
He sent it through a text. It was, I want you.
How did he get your phone number?
Through from me buying this car from him.
Okay, let me get some background from you, sir.
Your Honor, this is Jasmine Porter. She's a troublemaker. This lady has 6 kids by 7 or 8 baby daddies. I don't know. Your Honor. Your Honor.
You understand? I got 6 kids, but how I have 7 or 8 baby daddies.
I don't know how she got me confused with them baby daddies, but I ain't never approached her. Gotcha. Jasmine been fired off 4 or 5 different jobs for arguing, fussing, and fighting. I helped my brother, got out of jail 3 or 4 times for arguing, fussing, and fighting with employees.
Who has?
Who?
Jasmine have got fired off 5 different jobs, arguing with the employees. Me and my brother have went down there and bailed her out.
That's where I'm from.
And
How
she
many
have
times?
3 or 4 times.
You bailed her out?
We bailed her out of jail.
Is
got
that
made
true?
bond.
He never, all my bonds I have
Have you been in jail 3 or 4 times? Let's just start
3 or 4
there.
times, yes.
Pardon?
Yes.
For what?
For either for...
Stop sticking your neck out like that
It's
when you
even
talk
for-
to me. I'm not him. I'm not all these other people you deal with. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now tell me how many
It's
times
either
you've been
for-
to jail.
Maybe 4 or 5 times.
For
I've been
what?
To jail. Probably for either assault or...
Assault?
Yeah, most like on my assault or traffic ticket.
Everything dealing with temperament.
Judge
sounds
Mathis,
like.
she took a vehicle and tried to run over one of her baby daddy's girlfriends.
Never.
And I had to bail her out on this case. And this case is in court right now that you try to run over the girl, your baby daddy girlfriend with my vehicle.
There's more Judge Mathis after this.
I said, come get your daughter stuff out my truck,
police told you to
out my storage bin.
They said, I'm
Well, I
entitled
never
to my
moved the
stuff.
truck since I got it from her. Come and get all her belongings out my truck because I don't want to touch it. Her mama got Burger King, Taco Bell, Mac, everything else.
Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Judge Greg Mathis.
This is Jasmine Porter. She's a troublemaker. This lady has 6 kids by 7 or 8 baby daddies. I don't know, Your Honor, I don't know how she got me confused with them baby daddies, but I ain't never approached her. Jasmine been fired off 4 or 5 different jobs for arguing, fussing, and fighting.
Plaintiff Jasmine Porter bought a car from the defendant, who claims Jasmine is a troublemaker, and she's been to jail several times for fighting.
All right, and let me hear from you on the car, ma'am.
Okay, I purchased this vehicle from Albert Trader on October 7th of 2015. He wanted $2,000 for the vehicle. I came to him with $1,500. He asked me, said that was fine. I gave him the $1,500. Never a date was never set for it to be paid, but by December or February of 2016. Okay, I additionally made three payments of $100 to him every Friday. I got paid every Friday. And once I could not help pay the payment, my mother also helped me pay the payments for the vehicle. I made those payments, and then it was one payment made of $80. That was my last big check that I had before I got ready to leave to go on maternity.
When was that?
I definitely went on maternity leave. It was in November. I definitely went on maternity leave. I have a doctor order that he took me on maternity.
November?
Yes.
Right around the time he hit on you?
Yeah.
The same time frame that you all developed this financial dispute. And that's why I was leery of your testimony when you started out, because when there's a financial dispute and someone leads off with he hit on me or she hit on me, that's setting it up. Because that's totally aside from what this case is about. So when you start out, Your Honor, he hit on me.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I know, but my point is.
Yes, it is. So why are you working at night?
The coincidence, after seeing you every week for 4 years, he never hit on you until the month you all had a financial dispute. Just sounds like too much of a coincidence to me. Go ahead, you tell me, sir, what's going on
Your
here.
Honor, on October the 20th, this woman got 6 kids. She can't get on the trolley.
Heard all that. Go ahead.
I purchased her, I sold her a truck, Your Honor, for $1,500. I asked $25 for it. I said, Jasmine, you pay me $100 a month on my vehicle until you pay it off. 1 week after that, prior, she lost her job for fighting on the job.
No.
The first month, she offered me some food stamps for my vehicle. I said, Jasmine, I'm gonna help you this month because you don't have my payment.
I went on maternity.
Next month, which was November, she didn't pay me anything. December, I came to her house, told my brother and her mama, tell Jasmine, she gave me food stamps last month. She didn't pay me nothing this month. I come to the house again in January. I said, tell Jasmine, she haven't paid me anything on my truck. I waited to the end of January and went to the police station and explained to them what happened and told them I was finna go repossess my truck because it's been 102 days. He said, sir, you have the right, you have a title and a bill of sale. Go get your vehicle because it seems like she are not interested in paying you. I said, well, I'm on my way to get it. Prior to me going to get my vehicle, she went down there and tried to have me arrested 4 times for my vehicle, from taking it from her. The second time she went down there and tried to have me arrested, she said she left something in my truck. I went and got her mama. I said, come get your daughter stuff out my truck.
Police told you to
out my storage bin. Well, I never moved the truck since I got it from her. Come and get all her belongings out my truck because I don't want to touch it. Her mama got Burger King, Taco Bell, Mac, everything else. Everything else, Judge Mac.
I was responsible
everything
for my
else
stuff.
other than wasn't no money in my truck, wasn't no tablet in my truck. I said, sign this piece of paper, I don't have it today. Sign whatever you got out of my truck and give it to your daughter because your daughter is very money hungry and messy. I don't want to have no more problem with her. She went back down to the police station again and tried to have me arrested for harassment.
I got $4,000.
And the officer told me, do you want to have, I said, ma'am, y'all, she got 6 kids. By 7 different baby. I don't want to have no more problems. I'm losing my job having to come down here and explain myself.
You say she gave you a total of how much money?
She gave me $1,500 and she gave me $45 food stamp.
All right. So she says that also she has a text that indicates you hit on her. I want to see her text.
If she got it, I'm gonna run out this courtroom.
You'll run out.
If she show you a text, I hit on her. I'm finna run out of here.
Hold on. What? Hold on. What?
Statement.
What?
I don't have the text.
I know you don't. Have a good day.
Was there.
Your claim is dismissed for perjury, and I don't believe anything you say. Have a good day.
James Carter and his wife Wendy say Wendy has known the defendant since high school, and he is a known drug addict. Wendy claims the defendant worked for her, and they rented their auto garage to him. But she's suing him today for electric bills, rent, and late fees. Defendant Robert Hanstein admits that he was addicted to methamphetamines, but insists he's been clean for 10 years. Robert admits that he stopped paying rent, but he claims it was because the car lift broke and the plaintiffs refused to fix it.
Start with you.
We've known Rob since high school. He's a known drug head, been on and off drugs
He's shaking
all his
his head.
life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, sir. I was. I've been clean for almost 10 years now.
Okay, good. Go ahead, ma'am. Say he's been clean for 10 years.
Well, okay, if he says so. I can go by there and he'll be running 110 miles an hour all night long and no work's getting done. So.
What type of drugs?
I don't know what he does, but he'll be going 100 miles an hour.
Your Honor,
what was your drug?
I worked for them for about approximately 3 years. They know how I worked. I don't know where I was working at daytime. I don't have time in the daytime. I got too many people coming in, asking me questions, want to know about this and that, so I work late. I run a one-man shop.
Coming up next on Judge Mathis.
You haven't received any money, James, for the electric?
No.
You talking pretty soft there. Ma'am, I don't know what you think. I believe these two are in cahoots from time to time. I believe they're taking a nip together. They might be taking a hit together. But I'm telling you, I know what I'm seeing here now.
I went through verbal abuse. I went through physical abuse. He's a beater.
That was all a lie.
Did you go to the police on him?
That's Judge Mathis.
Their former employer.
I was a methamphetamine user, sir.
Okay, because you're talking a little fast on me today.
Well, sir, I'm nervous, but I went to work for them. About the same
now,
time
when you're nervous, you stutter.
Sir, I went to work for them about the same time.
Don't start stuttering now, trying to prove that you're nervous.
Operated the business from 2001 to 2008. He worked for me from 2005 till 2008 when he decided to leave and go to another shop. And there, I believe he got on drugs again after that. But when he worked for me, as long as I stayed on his tail, he worked.
No. She's doing a pretty good job.
All right. Good enough. And what was it like? He came in every day?
He came in every day.
Didn't start any mess at work?
No, he worked good when he was there. Just there at the end, he started slacking off and missing, and he decided to go somewhere else. He worked there for a while.
I missed 3 days worth of work in 3 years.
She said you were a good worker.
Said you was a good worker. You were a good worker.
Well, why'd you run off? Regarding her and her husband. They've been friends of yours in addition to employers,
Your
or
Honor,
what is it?
James is actually kin to me by marriage, and I've known Wendy since high school. Wendy's always been a witch. You know, I worked for her. I worked in a garage with no heat. You know, they wouldn't let me have heat in the garage. I worked out there 20 degrees and lower with the doors open. There was no heat in the shop.
What else do you find with them as problematic, if at all?
Well, Your Honor, they...
What's up with your buddy, man? Is he your buddy or what? Is he your running buddy?
James, I've known James for a long time.
All right, give me his deal, because I got a little question mark.
I don't probably James at all.
You all didn't hang out a lot?
No, not so much. You know, James would come by and collect the rent, pretty much. I mean, that's about it. I mean, as far as the shop.
All right, go ahead. So James is a good guy. She's a good lady. Oh no, you said she was tough lady.
Yes,
that's the best way I'll put it. All right, and yet you stayed there and worked with him. It was a good work experience. What went wrong?
I just got tired of being badgered by Wendy. I mean, you know, I had to write him a receipt every time I got paid. Every time I pick up a paycheck, I had to write them a business receipt.
When she pay you?
When she paid me, I had to write. I had to write them a receipt. They didn't.
What's wrong with that?
They didn't issue a check or check stub. I actually had to write a receipt out of my receipt book. It was Rob's auto disrepair.
Did you turn that into the IRS?
Yeah.
We paid you every Friday. Every Friday. You never waited for your pay. Not one time.
You should have wanted a record, sir, in case, like she said, IRS come for you. They want to audit you.
Wendy is big about getting receipts, but Wendy won't write you a receipt.
You ever given her anything to write a receipt for?
Yes, sir, I have.
What?
The rent, electric. Your Honor, I have a document here that was filed that it proves that she's trying to commit fraud.
Let's see what you're talking about. First of all, let me hear from you regarding the bills and rent and what months you're suing him for, ma'am. And was this residential? Because this says commercial. Go ahead, you tell me.
I have electric bills for 11 months that he did not pay.
Tell me about his rental agreement first.
He signed a 6-month lease, which would turn over to a month-to-month lease after that. It was $500 a month. He agreed to pay a $50 late fee when it wasn't paid on time.
And what happened?
And he did not pay. He paid good for the first
there was
year.
No rental agreement, Your Honor.
What months did he fail to pay? You have a printout or something written down?
Yes.
So did you pay your electric bill all the months you were there?
Yes, sir. I paid my electric bill up until March.
And you
I quit paying rent in March and electric bill in March.
And what about these receipts? Obviously, you have some receipts.
No, sir. They never wrote me a receipt.
And you paid cash each of these months?
Yes, sir, I did.
Directly to her?
Her or James, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
James, did he ever give you any money directly, cash?
Yes, he paid me.
Since July of 2015?
Yes, he has gave me some.
All right. Well, your wife lists months that that has occurred.
He paid rent, not electric.
All right. Well, electric. You haven't received any money, James, for the electric?
No.
You talking pretty soft there, ma'am. I don't know what you think. I believe these two are in cahoots from time to time. I believe they're taking a nip together. They might be taking a hit together. But I'm telling you, I know what I'm seeing here now.
No.
I wasn't born yesterday.
Stay tuned. The case continues after are suing their former employee, who they claim is a known drug addict. But the defendant insists he's been clean for 10 years.
Let's get to the rent, sir. Have you missed any rent?
I stopped paying rent in March.
Why?
Because the car lift broke down. Without the car lift in the shop, it was useless. That's why I moved out. That's why I moved out.
And this was a garage, obviously,
yes, sir.
A repair garage?
It is, but
you
he
rented
never.
to him?
Yes, sir.
What was in it?
It's a lift, a tire machine, balancer, and this is the first I've heard of it. Never once has he said
I also
broken.
And why would the spin balancer lasted the first week, and after it quit, I said something about that. They wouldn't fix it. I went out and bought a bubble balancer to do the tires with myself.
James, do you know of this?
I know of the spin balancer, but I don't know nothing about the lift. This is the first time
you're hearing it also? When did you first tell them?
March.
When we demanded
Where were you
rent.
at?
Huh? Then when they come by to pick up the rent.
You said the lift was broken.
I told them the lift wouldn't work. Yes, it was unsafe.
And they say you didn't. And so what has happened since that time? When did you leave?
I left there in May.
All right. So then why shouldn't you pay March and April? You stayed in March and April.
I couldn't use the facilities. I mean, I couldn't.
Ma'am, he makes a pretty good argument.
That lift is not broken. He's never mentioned that the lift is broken, not one time.
You're on the lift.
But what he hasn't done is paid rent, electric, and late fees.
There was never no agreement on paying any late fees. I don't know where that comes from.
Ma'am, he's pretty good, I gotta tell you, other than this lease. Let me look at this.
He's pretty deceptive. He'll make me come 12 times to try to collect. He'll say, oh, I'll pay you when this person pays me for this car. Well, evidently he ain't never paid for nothing because I've never gotten paid.
Yeah, you have, Wendy. You know, I don't owe you.
$27.59. That's what you owe me. I have
How much do you owe? How much do you think you owe?
I don't think I owe her anything because I moved out because the lift wouldn't work. I don't feel I owe any rent for that.
You paid every single electric bill?
I say I paid the electric bills.
Every single one?
Yes, sir.
So why do you think your buddy's lying on? He's your man. You say she's a bad lady. He's your man. So why do you think he's lying on you? He's your buddy.
Your Honor, she runs the show.
If you don't...
She's the boss. She's the boss. She's the boss. That woman will fight you like a man, I'm telling you.
I bossed you for 3 years and got your butt to work, didn't I?
She will fight you like a man, I'm telling you.
This is true. If you don't pay me, I'm going to stand up for what is mine, and you owe me.
No, I don't.
Is this his signature, man?
Yes, that's his signature.
You have your license on you today?
Yes, sir, I sure do.
Compare?
I'm not denying it's my signature, but I didn't sign it. That's forged.
Oh, you've seen this?
Yeah, that's forged. Yeah, that was hand delivered to me.
When?
By the sheriff's department.
When? When you were being sued?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what she turned into evidence.
It was hand delivered to you when you signed it that day.
The verdict when we return. And on the next, Judge Mathis.
I went through verbal abuse. I went through physical abuse. He's a beater.
That was all a lie.
Did you go to the police on him?
That's Judge Mathis.
Carter and his wife Wendy are suing their former employee, who they claim is a known drug addict, but the defendant insists he's been clean for 10 years.
So you agree, because it does, that this is your signature?
Yes, sir. Sir, I've written probably 3,000 auto inspections, and she still has copies of auto inspections I wrote when I worked for her.
Man, why is this imprint of a card there? Seems as if you did cover something up.
Now, when we signed this agreement, that was the only copy that I had, and he signed it just like that.
Your Honor, I would never sign.
But just explain what it is then. Okay, he signed it like this, but explain what it is. The box.
I'm going to. It's a sticky note where it was another tenant's contract. And then we did not have another copy, and he was so in a hurry to get in that business. No, he was in a hurry to get in there that he signed it just like that.
Your Honor, I would not sign my signature on sticky notes.
Did you agree to rent for me or not, Rob?
We had a verbal agreement. Yes, we did.
Okay. Whatever, verbal, written, both. I got both.
No, I did not sign that document.
I don't know who to believe.
Your Honor.
And you have the burden of proving it. And this sticker you put on top of the other person's signature looks a little iffy, man. Who does that?
He would not wait to get a copy of that.
Why was he so anxious?
It was a verbal agreement.
Why was he so anxious?
Why was he so anxious? Because he wanted to get out of the place that he was in, because he thought he could make more money on his own, which evidently he could not, because he cannot.
And the only reason this is important is because of the equipment issue. It is typical and standard that someone pays a late fee, so I'm not going to let you get out of that because you didn't verbally agree to a late fee. But the equipment issue is important. But they say you've never complained about the equipment.
Yes, sir, I have.
What type of notice did you give them when you moved? What did you say?
I just moved my stuff and took my stuff and left.
Oh, you didn't give them notice?
No, he did not.
Sir, I mean, I told him for 3 months the lift was broken. I mean, I couldn't stay there. I had to go.
By law, you have to give them notice that the facility is in disrepair and give them an opportunity to repair it. Otherwise, you've abandoned the lease. You did not notify them and give them an opportunity to repair it. She could have come in that next day and repaired the lift had you told her, had you given an opportunity. So you violated your lease when you just left. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Hey, I might be a witch, but when it comes to business, it's business. And you owe me, you should have paid me.
No, ma'am, I didn't. I disagree there.
We tried to give you a chance.
As soon as I get this car out of here, I'm going to pay you tonight. Well, I'll come back the next day, the car's gone, and you're not even at work the next day.